Hey everybody, welcome back to the Philly Hot Stove podcast on YouTube. So to get this video started, we're going to be talking about the biggest news that broke I think yesterday with JT Realmuto re-signing with the Philadelphia Phillies. Why was that big news, you ask? Well, take it from my perspective. Like we once he became hit the free agent market, like it was kind of a pain. He like catchers like him, like he's not worth 200 million yet. If he stays, he's going to be in the prime of his career. Like he's not worth 200, but having him for like the next 5 years for 115.5 million. I mean, I feel like that's like a reasonable overpay comp- to for the best catcher in baseball. And once I'm done with this video, I'm gonna leave a link in the description for the article on ESPN because according to Jeff Passan, I mean, if you're not a sports fan or enjoys in sports, you know who that is. He's one of the biggest, like, I guess I say sports reporters, along with like Ken Rosenthal, most likely. But his annual, because according to the article from ESPN, Real Muto's deal has an average annual value of 23.1 million, which is the highest for any catcher in baseball up in a very long time. Because he barely surpassed Joe Mauer for 23 million a year. Now, with that being said, he has like he also joins like with catchers like obviously Joe Mauer and Buster Posey for the to and he's like the third catcher in MLB history to actually sign a contract that's more than 100 million, despite the fact he was asking for 200 after the horrendous season that the Phillies had. But I think the Phillies kind of played it smart with the money that they're holding or they gave Realmuto, and he says, and I quote, "I love this organization. They've been great to me and my family since I showed up. From top to bottom, they're good people. They care about baseball. That's important to me." So, like I was saying, like this guy is obviously built for Philly. Now, catchers nowadays kind of break down quicker. Let's see. Like for example, like Yacht. I mean, Yacht. Look at like Yadier Molina for example. The guy's 38. Already putting up a Hall of Fame career, but the shape. The only thing that's going to separate Real Muto from the other catchers from like years down the line is pretty much that how athletic he really is. So I'm me along with most Phillies fans are really happy to actually bring it back for the next 5 years. So by 2026, he should be a free agent by after the 2026 season, like I mentioned. Like when the free agent market, and I think what Real Muto did, he kind of like waited out how the market was going to be, especially for catchers. Like obviously before, like when the market hit, like the Mets are like the one team that I remember that were in contention to acquire him. But obviously they settled for James McCann for a 4-year deal. And then like and then Realmuto was kind of, I mean, it looks like he kind of lucked himself into coming back to Philly. Like he said, like he loves his organization and the way that he's been treated here in Philly. I mean, he's obviously a Gold Glove best catcher in baseball. Like, what's more than can he ask for? Like so far, he in his 4 seasons, like so far he has a career. He's a career 278 hitter. Was a first had a first time All Star selection in his career, and he had a career high with 21 homers, 74 RBIs, and an OPS of 825. I mean, that's only in 2018. But and obviously Jeff Passan was not the only reporter that actually reported him coming back. The first reporter actually, uh, news of his deal was reported by Craig Mish, another major league reporter. So like I was saying, like if he doesn't want to, if he didn't want to, I mean, he was asking for 200 million by the end when the season ended, like or during the free agent market. Like I don't really see that happening with Real Muto. But the fact of the matter is that we signed him for a 5 year, $115.5 million deal. I mean, I'm happy. Like the rest of the or rather with other Philly sports fans, like or just baseball fans in general. Like now I wanted to address. Let's The Phillies, for example, are a confusing organization, to say the least. When we brought in Dombrowski, we were not. I think at the time we kind of actually made, especially John Middleton, who's been getting a lot of. I mean, could you make an argument that he can be a fraud sometimes? Yes, maybe not. Like that depends what perspective you're seeing. For example, like bringing in. I mean, giving up Sixto Sanchez kind of that bet us in the ass a bit, but I mean, there's really nothing we can do about that now because that was Clentak's, you know, moronic decision to get or to do per se. So, um, with that being said, I I mean, I'm really seeing how this really what the Phillies are going to do now. Even though picking up Archie Bradley, trade for Jose Alvarado. Speaking of that, with Jose Alvarado, I mean, now you're going to get most bullpen guys healthy coming into the this upcoming season compared to what that shortened season. I think what the shortened season did is kind of like it just. I think without training camp or spring training, it kind of like threw them off a bit. If that makes sense. But I mean, I have no complaints about it. Like I I'm really happy. Like we've been. I mean, that's been from what I remember. Like it's been that's been some most people are having that hashtag sign JT trending on Twitter. So I mean, I really got nothing bad to say about it. But John Milton needs to kind of stop being kind of hard headed. Like first of all, like if you're losing a shit ton of money, I mean that the franchise would have be here. Let's put it that way. Say lose over 2 billion during when the pandemic hit. Like, are you kidding? But with that being said, I'm really hoping we can get like another solid starter and maybe like 3 or 4 bullpen pieces if we're lucky going to the season. Maybe even hopefully bring back Didi, which I'm really hoping because Kingery is a mystery. Let's put it that way. Because it's like, yeah, he had the virus because before the season started. That's I mean, you really can't fault him for that, despite the fact he was trying to get back from the virus. I mean, I know us Philly sports fans, we have an expectation to hold to most athletes. Um, for me, I have a lot of expectations when it comes to, especially with the Phillies, for example, with now baseball season coming up, and I'm really looking forward to see how if the bullpen guys can stay healthy, maybe get like another starter or two, and get rid of Velasquez. I think we should be fine. Like, at best, we're a wild card team. At this point, like we're nothing but like a 500. We're pretty much like let's say like a wild card team at best. Obviously, the Braves are going to be like the one team that's going to be tough to beat. Um, with other than that, what else can you say? It took this. I mean, it took a long time to actually offer him whatever like that deal. And me and a couple of friends of mine, we kind of talked about, or we kind of did our predictions, like how long, his what deal he was going to take. I said about 5 years, 100 plus. And my friend Brandon, who, if he, I mean, also, yeah, me and my friend Brandon were kind of talking about this. I mean, we were both like almost spot on with our predictions, but I mean, I'm hyped. Well, not say hyped, but I mean, I'm ready to see what the Phillies are going to do come into the season, especially with with very little pieces that they acquired, like Jose Alvarado, Archie Bradley, who's I think it can hopefully bolster that back end of the bullpen. And that's all I have for today. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the channel. Um, leave a comment down below what your thoughts are, and if you're into like having if you're interested in listening to podcasts, I'll leave, like I said, I will leave my link to my podcast in the description below, and I'll see you. And my name is Robert. I'll be signing off to you guys later. Have a good one.